1971, Ukrainian archaeologist B.M. Mozelevsky discovered an ancient Scythian kurgan burial mound containing many treasures. The burial site was constructed in the 4th century BC near the city of Orzhony Kidze and is given the name Tavesta Mohella. Another name is Babiana Mogila. Amongst the artifacts excavated at this site were four silver gilded phalera, ancient Roman military medals. Two of the four medals are identical and depict the head of a bearded man with two horns, while the other two medals are also identical and depict the head of a clean shaven man with two horns. According to a recent theory, the beard figure with horns is actually Zeus Ammon, and the clean shaved figure is none other than Alexander the Great. Alexander has also been identified since ancient times with the horned figure in the Old Testament in the prophecy of Daniel 8, who overthrows the kings of Media and Persia. In the prophecy, Daniel has a vision of a ram with two long horns, and verse 20 explains that the ram which thou sawest having two horns is the king of Media and Persia. Josephus 37 to 100 AD. In his Antiquities of the Jews 11:8-5 tells a visit that Alexander is purported to have purported to have made to Jerusalem, where he met the high priest Jedua and the assembled Jews, and was shown the book of Daniel, in which it was prophesied that someone of the Greek would overthrow the empire of Persia. Alexander believed himself to be the one indicated and was pleased. The pertinent passage in Daniel would seem to be 8 3:8, which tells of the overthrow of the two-horned ram by the one-horned god, the one horn of the god being broken in the encounter. The interpretation of this is given further. The ram which thou sawest that had the two horns, they are the king of Media and Persia, and the rough he got is the king of Greece. This identification is accepted by the church fathers. The Christian Syriac version of the Alexander Romans in the sermon by Jacob of Syrup describes Alexander as having been given two horns of iron by God. The legend describes Alexander as a Christian king, bowing himself in prayer, saying, O God, I know in my mind that thou hast exalted me above all kings, and thou hast made me horns upon my head, wherewith I might thrust down the kingdom of the world. I will magnify thy name, O Lord, forever. And if the Messiah, and if the kingdom of the world, I will magnify thy name, O Lord, forever. And if the Messiah, who is the Son of God, Jesus, comes in my days, I and my troops will worship him. In Christian Alexander legends, written in Ethiopic and ancient South Semitic language, between the 14th and 16th century, Alexander the Great is always explicitly referred to using the epithet the two-horned. A passage from the Ethiopic Christian legend describes the angel of the Lord calling Alexander by this name. Then God may he be blessed and exalted, put it into the heart of the angel to call Alexander two-horned. And Alexander said unto him, Thou didst call me by the name two-horned, but my name is Alexander. And I thought that thou hadst cursed me by calling me by this name. The angel spake unto him, saying, O man, I did not curse thee by the name by which thou and the works that thou dost are. Did not curse thee by the name by which thou and the works that thou dost are known. Thou hast come unto me, and I praise thee, because from the east to the west the whole earth hath been given unto thee. The reference to Alexander's supposed horns are found in literature ranging many different languages, regions, and countries. The horns of Alexander, however, had a varied symbolism. They represent him as God, as a son of God, as a prophet and propagandist of the Most High, as something approaching the role of a Messiah, and also as the champion of Allah. They represent him as a world conqueror who subjected the two horns or ends of the world, the lands of the rising and the setting sun. For these reasons, among others, the Quran's Arabic epithet Dulkarnain, literally meaning the two-horned one, is interpreted as a reference to Alexander the Great. This image is also shown two horns, silver tetragramman, ancient Greek coin issued in the name of Alexander the Great, depicting Alexander with the horns of Amun-Ra, 242-248 BC, posthumous issue, displayed at the British Museum. In Christian traditions, in the Syriac Christian legends, Alexander the Great encloses the Gog and Magog horde behind a mighty gate between two mountains, preventing Gog and Magog from invading the earth. In addition, it is written in Christian legend that in the end times, God will cause the gate of Gog and Magog to be destroyed, allowing the Gog and Magog horde to ravage the earth. The Lord spake by the hand of the angel, saying, The gate of the north shall be opened on the day of the end of the world, and on that day shall evil go forth on the wicked. The earth shall quake, and this gate which thou, Alexander, hast made be opened, and anger with fierce wrath shall rise up on mankind, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the nations that is within this gate shall be roused up, and also the host of Gog and the people of Magog, Gog and Magog shall be gathered together. These peoples, the fiercest of all creatures, the Christian Syriac legend describes a flat earth orbited by the sun and surrounded by the Paropamisidae, Hindu Kush mountains. The Paropamisidae mountains are in turn surrounded by a narrow tract of land which is followed by a treacherous ocean, sea called Okeanos. It is within this tract of land between the Propamisidae mountain and Okeanos that Alexander encloses Gog and Magog so that they could not cross the mountains and invade the earth. The legend describes the old wise men explaining this geography and cosmology of the earth to Alexander and then Alexander setting out to enclose Gog and Magog behind a mighty gate between a narrow passage at the end of the flat earth. The old men say, "Look, my lord, the king, and see a wonder. This mountain which God has set as a great boundary." King Alexander, the son of Philip, said, "How far is the extent of this mountain?" The old men say, "Beyond India it extends in its appearance." The king said, "How far does this side come?" The old men say, "Unto all the end of the earth." And wonder seized the great king at the counsel of the old men, and he had it in his mind to make there a great gate. His mind was full of spiritual thoughts. While taking advice from the old men, the dwellers in the land, he looked at the mountain which encircled the whole world. The king said, "Where have the hosts of Gog and Magog come forth to plunder the land and all the world from the old?" They showed him a place in the middle of the mountains, a narrow pass which had been constructed by God. Example of a TO map appearing in a German encyclopedia published by Joseph Mayer, 1796 to 1856 AD. The TO map was the first printed map in Europe. The map showed a disc-shaped earth surrounded by oceans with the location Gog and Magog to the north and Pampisidae mountain Hindu Kush to the east in Asia. In the Christian legends, Alexander built the wall against Gog and Magog in the north near the Caspian Sea, and then went to the ends of the earth at the Pampisidae where it was supposed that the sun rises. This is the TO map. TO map. Europe, Africa, Oceanus, Paradisus. This is the place of Gog and Magog.